If this message has found you, it is not because you were curious or bored or scrolling in the soft glow of a screen. No, this appeared in your path because something in you has already begun to stir. For thousands of years, the priests of Kemet believed that the soul does not stumble into teachings like this by chance. A person arrives only when their inner frequency has ripened, when the quiet knocking beneath the ribs becomes too insistent to ignore, when the life they have been living begins to feel too small for the being they truly are. There is a reason Thoth was called the keeper of the hidden chambers. He was not a god of flashy miracles. He was the god of precision, of timing, of gates that do not open for the unready. And today, you will be shown one of his most guarded doors. Not a metaphorical gate, a vibrational gate encoded in a single vowel sound whispered only in the innermost chambers of the old temples. A sound believed to open what the priests called Sha-Rayet, the gate of destiny, the point in your field where timelines meet, where forgotten memories are stored, where potential waits in a coiled, luminous sleep. This chant was never written on papyrus. It was carried mouth to ear, pulse to pulse. One mispronunciation could shatter a person's energy spine for months. One correct utterance, however, even once, could rewrite the structure of their entire magnetic field. The ancients warned, use this sound only if you are ready to stop lying to yourself. Why? Because this chant does not bring comfort, it brings alignment, and alignment demands truth. It demands that anything false, anything weak, anything no longer yours dissolves. In India, similar vowels were used in the deepest tantric lineages, but cloaked in layers of metaphor to protect the unprepared. In Tibet, the vowel was hidden inside a breathing ritual reserved only for high initiates. But in Egypt, the transmission was direct, raw, surgical. A sound that does not just vibrate your throat, it vibrates your future. Tonight, you will hear the first part of that sound, but more importantly, you will feel it. This is not a teaching you learn, it is a teaching you undergo. And if you allow it, truly allow it, you will not be the same by the end. You may feel pressure in the forehead. You may feel warmth around the chest. You may feel the unsettling sensation of a memory returning, even if you cannot name it. These are all signs that your field is responding, reorganizing, remembering. If any part of you feels fear, understand this. Fear is simply the instinct of the old self, sensing it is about to lose its throne. Take a breath. Let the room grow still. Feel your awareness sinking deeper behind your face like a stone dropping through pure black water. In a moment, you will be led through the first phase of the chant, the phase that awakens what has been sleeping inside you since before you were born. But before that, I will ask you one question, not out loud, but inwardly. Are you prepared for your life to stop repeating what came before? because once this chant is heard, once this frequency is activated, you cannot return to the person you were. Doing it just once is enough. When you are ready, when your breathing slows, when your chest feels a quiet ache, the kind that comes from the soul leaning forward, whisper inside your mind, "I am ready," and the gate will begin to open. This is the vibration that stirs what has been dormant in you since the beginning. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that a single sound, a sound lasting barely longer than a breath, could carry enough force to rearrange the very architecture of your destiny. Modern minds resist this idea. They want diagrams, textbooks, equations. But the ancient Egyptians understood something far simpler, far more dangerous. A sound is not just a sound. A sound is a tool. A sound is a blade. A sound is a key. And Thoth, above all, was the architect of keys. In every initiation chamber, there was a moment where the novice was taken into darkness. Not symbolic darkness, real darkness. Darkness so complete that the mind could not cling to shape or shadow. Darkness that erased distance, boundaries, fear. There in that hollowed blackness, the high priest would whisper a single vowel. Not a chant, not a mantra, a vowel. A sound stripped of form, stripped of meaning, stripped of everything except raw vibration. They called it the awakening vowel, because, as they said, it does not awaken the gods, it awakens you. And so now you stand where countless initiates once stood, trembling not for fear, but for recognition. You feel it already, don't you? That faint stirring behind your chest, like someone knocking from the inside. This is the preparation. This is the threshold. The shape of the silent fire. Before I give you the vowel, before you breathe it into existence, you must understand the principle behind it. The Egyptians believed that the human body is not a container, but a corridor, a long hallway of chambers, each holding a different note of your soul. Most people live their entire lives in only 2 or 3 of these chambers. The rest remain sealed, silent, forgotten. But the vowel you're about to learn bypasses the doors entirely. It travels down the spine like silent fire and strikes directly at the chamber where your destiny has been coiled like a serpent, waiting for the moment you would finally ask it to wake. Perhaps you've felt this chamber before, in moments of overwhelming clarity, or unbearable loss, or sudden intuitive knowing. Moments that felt like your soul briefly pulled back the curtain and said, "This is who you are supposed to be." Then the curtain fell again, as if the world wasn't ready for the full truth of you. But tonight, the curtain does not fall. Tonight, you lift it yourself. The vowel itself, the sound of the gate beginning to turn. The vowel is I, a sound impossible to spell in ordinary language because it is not spoken from the mouth. It is spoken from the sternum, the central bone of the chest. Say it gently the first time. I. Let it stretch. Let it shimmer, let it tremble like a silver thread pulled tight from the ribs to the sky. The ancient priests described it as a vowel that leans forward, a sound that wants to pull your consciousness into the unknown. If you do it correctly, and you will feel a subtle ache rise behind the heart. Not pain, a pressure, a swelling, a warmth that doesn't behave like warmth, more like a memory of warmth. This is the chamber responding. This is the serpent raising its head. Do not rush, do not force. This is not a performance. This is not a technique you do well. This is a doorway you stand in. The scientific shadow behind the ancient power. If you prefer a scientific frame, the vowel IA vibrates at a frequency that resonates deeply with the vagus nerve, which controls breath, heart rate, and the communication between body and subconscious mind. Before modern neuroscience discovered this, Egyptian priests already knew if you change the breath of a human, you change the truth they are living. IA is a sound that softens the survival reflex, loosens emotional residue stored in the chest, and opens the electromagnetic field around the heart. This is why some initiates cried the first time they heard it, not out of sadness, but because something that had been locked for decades suddenly moved. You may feel tingling in the fingertips. You may feel the jaw want to relax. You may feel time slow down, as if the air around you has thickened slightly. All of these signs are that the energy corridors are responding. A memory from the stone chamber. Let me tell you something that may unsettle you. The first time I was given this sound, the high priest, a man whose face I still cannot remember, told me, "Do not fear the trembling. It is the old self leaving the bones." I thought he meant it symbolically. He did not. When I sang IA that first time, it felt like 4 different versions of me were trying to separate themselves in different directions. The one I thought I was, the one I pretended to be, the one I feared becoming, and the one I was meant to be all along. And for a moment, a long, silent, breathless moment, I understood why most people never wake up. It is easier to carry a lie than to carry your future. If you feel that trembling, do not run. Do not distract yourself. Do not swallow it down. Let the vibration work. Let it climb the spine like dawn creeping up a mountain. Now you try the first activation. Sit with your back straight. Let your shoulders drop. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly through the nose for the count of 4. Hold for 1. Then whisper gently, I. Let the voice fade when it wants to. Do not push. Do not extend. This vibration knows where to go. As you breathe again, pay attention. You will feel a shift. For some people, it's a warmth in the chest. For others, a ring in the ears. For others still, a sudden moment of inner emptiness, the kind that feels strangely holy, like a temple with no walls. Whatever you feel is correct. There is no mistake. This is the first turning of the gate. The first signs of awakening. Within minutes, sometimes seconds, the following may occur. A strange sense that someone is standing behind you. a pressure on the forehead as if a thumb presses lightly against it, a flicker of images that make no logical sense, a sudden clarity about something you have been avoiding, a quiet sorrow rising from nowhere. Do not analyze it, do not try to capture it. The mind does not understand destiny, it only understands repetition, and you are breaking repetition. Why just one correct sound can change everything. You may wonder, how could something so simple have such consequences? Because the vowel is not the power, the vowel is the permission. Your being has been waiting to be asked, not politely, not casually, but with the force of intention, the way a storm asks the sky to open. When you utter I with that intention, you are saying to your soul, I am ready to stop delaying my life. And the soul, the ancient, coiled, luminous thing inside you, responds immediately. Even once is enough. The warning the priests gave every initiate. Before they allowed initiates to proceed, the priests always said the same line, if you awaken this chamber.
This is where the sound becomes a doorway, and the doorway becomes a path. Anyone who has ever stood inside the cold stone chamber of an Egyptian temple knows that such a place was not built for worship. It was built for amplification. Amplification of sound, amplification of breath, amplification of the human field. The priests did not chant to honor the gods, they chanted to remember themselves. Every vowel was a tool for reaching into the invisible threads that weave destiny together. And among those tools, the vowel A-E was the most dangerous, the most revered, and the most carefully guarded. You have already awakened the chamber inside you. You felt it, the stirring in the chest, the vibration traveling through the throat like light traveling through stone. But awakening is only the beginning. The ancients taught that the soul responds in 3 phases. Stirring, the vibration moves. Revealing, the vibration shows truth. Opening, the vibration becomes a gate. You are standing now at the threshold of the 2nd phase, revealing. The chamber of resonance is not a place you travel to, it is a place you become. And the next technique will draw you into it. The first secret of resonance, what you hear with your ears is the lie. What you feel with your bones is the truth. The vowel AE was designed to create a paradox. You speak it with your voice, but you feel it with your spine. It vibrates the sternum, but it awakens the field behind the heart. Western science would call this a standing wave pattern in the thoracic cavity. Mystics would call it a memory waking up. Both are true. If you close your eyes now and imagine the chest filled with a soft silver mist, and then whisper AE into that mist, you will sense something astonishing. The mist pushes back. It responds. It listens. It is you, the older, deeper you, listening to the surface you. This is the chamber of resonance. A story from the inner hall. There is a passage in one of the lesser-known temple inscriptions, not famous like the Emerald Tablet, not widely discussed, a fragment of dialogue between a priest and his student. "Master, why do I tremble?" The priest answers, "Because you have finally spoken in a language your soul remembers." The scroll continues. The initiate tried to speak again but lost his voice. The priest instructed him to be silent. "The chamber is speaking now," he said. What does it mean for the chamber to speak? It means the vibration you release begins to return, not as sound, but as insight. The Egyptians believed that the destiny gate opens from the inside, not the outside. The chant does not unlock it, your resonance does. And resonance is not produced by speaking loudly or perfectly. Resonance is produced by speaking honestly. If the vowel is uttered from ego, nothing happens. If it is uttered from longing, the chamber shakes. If it is uttered from authenticity, true authenticity, the gate begins to glow. The second technique, the breath of turning. Now that your chamber is awake, you must learn the breath that turns the sound into a living force. Sit again, spine straight. Relax your jaw. Let your shoulders fall like wet cloth. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This is the breath of turning, a breath that slows the mind but sharpens awareness. A breath that shifts the nervous system into a receptive, almost dreamlike state. When you exhale, imagine the breath leaving not through your nose or mouth, but through the center of your chest. This visualization is not a fantasy. It activates a network of nerves that creates the sensation of openness in the sternum. Do this breath 3 times. On the 4th exhale, whisper, A-E. But this time, place the sound lower, not in the throat, not in the mouth, but in the space just behind the breastbone. You may ask, how do I place a sound inside my chest? By intending it. The body follows intention more faithfully than it follows instruction. When you place the sound correctly, you will feel one of 3 things: a shifting sensation behind the ribs, a subtle vibration in the back between the shoulder blades, or a pressure that feels like someone lightly touching the center of your chest from inside. Any of these means the resonance has ignited. The vowel is no longer a sound, it is becoming a movement. And movement is what opens the gate. The revelation phase, when the sound shows you something. You may not expect what happens next. The vowel A-E, once connected to the breath, begins to act like a magnet pulling old memories toward the surface. Not memories of events, memories of states. You may suddenly recall a moment when you were 5 years old staring at the sky, or a moment in your teens when something in you broke open, or a moment much more recent, a conversation, a disappointment, a dream. These are not random flashes. These are the points in your timeline where your destiny tugged you, but you were not yet ready to follow. The chamber of resonance is showing you the threads. It is showing you what your life tried to become. Some people feel overwhelmed here. Some feel grief. Some feel relief, as if at last something makes sense. Let it happen. You are not losing control. You are gaining alignment. What you must not do during the revelation phase, this is where most people fail, not because they lack ability, but because they lack stillness. When the chamber begins revealing, do not try to interpret the images. Do not try to control what arises. Do not try to chase any vision. Do not try to judge the process. Interpretation is the enemy of revelation. Analysis is the enemy of awakening. If you feel overwhelmed, place your hand on your chest and breathe slowly. Say internally, I allow what is returning. This phrase calms the nervous system and stabilizes the resonance. The most dangerous trap, mistaking emotion for truth. a warning the priests always emphasized. The chamber does not show you what is real, it shows you what is unresolved. This distinction is vital. If old sorrow arises, do not assume your life is broken. If anger arises, do not assume someone harmed you. If fear arises, do not assume it is a prophecy. Emotion is not truth. Emotion is memory in motion. The vowel shakes the memory loose. That is all. You are not being punished. You are being emptied. The priesthood believed that an unemptied vessel cannot receive divine alignment. A full cup cannot take a new shape. You are being reshaped. The resonance test. Are you ready for the gate? There is a simple, ancient, subtle test that reveals whether the chamber of resonance has successfully awakened your field. After chanting AE 3 times, place your focus gently on the space between your eyebrows. Not forcefully, not tightly, just a soft attention. If the energy naturally rises upward into the forehead, even a little, then your field has begun turning. If the energy sinks downward into the belly, the chamber is not ready yet. If nothing moves at all, you are probably trying too hard. The energy follows softness, always softness. Do not be discouraged. Some initiates took months to reach resonance. Others reached it in minutes. Time does not measure readiness. Honesty does. And you have already shown honesty by coming here. When the resonance turns into light, there is a moment, unmistakable and irreversible, when the chamber fully awakens. The ancients described it as the night inside the ribs turning to dawn. Modern practitioners might call it a surge of coherence in the heart's electromagnetic field. You might feel a sudden clarity, a soft inner brightness, a sense of being watched lovingly, a moment of pure neutrality, a strange emotional lightness. When this happens, the destiny gate is no longer dormant.
This is where the vibration becomes a force, and the force becomes a path you cannot unwalk. There is a line carved in the outer wall of the temple of Dendera, barely visible unless the sun strikes it at a precise angle. Scholars dismiss it as poetic metaphor, but the priests knew otherwise. It reads, "The gate is not opened by strength, it is opened by turning." They called this turning kahem, the subtle inward rotation of the energy field that shifts a person from one timeline to another. To the Egyptians, destiny was not a fixed road, but a set of parallel corridors. Most people walk only the corridor of habit, the one carved by repetition, trauma, and unexamined desire. But the vowel A, when properly awakened, destabilizes that corridor. It softens its walls. It reveals the hidden doorways between realities. And when the chamber of resonance has been activated, the destiny gate begins its slow, unmistakable turn. Few initiates reached this stage. Even fewer were ready for what followed. Because once the gate turns, even by a single degree, the life you were living before begins to distort. You see its illusions. You feel its limitations. You sense the deeper truth beneath the surface of everything. This can feel like awakening. It can also feel like unraveling. Both are accurate. You are entering the most sacred phase of the ritual, the phase where you no longer observe the sound observes you. The first sign of turning, the inner shift of gravity. When the gate begins to move, the first thing you may feel is a strange internal shift, as if your emotional weight rearranges itself inside you. Some describe it as feeling centered for the first time in years. Others say it feels as if their past loosened its grip. Some feel nothing at all until they stand up and realize their breath has changed. Whatever form it takes, this shift is not imagined. It is energetic gravity realigning. A activates the heart's electromagnetic field. The field, once awakened, begins aligning the body's subtle anatomy, the nadis of India, the lung channels of Tibet, the sephirotic currents of Hermetic tradition. Different cultures named the same truth. There is a center inside you that you have not been living from. When the gate turns, you move toward that center. Everything else begins to fall away. The second sign, the collapse of false timelines. The Egyptians believed every unresolved choice creates a phantom timeline, a path you might have walked but didn't. Most people carry dozens of these phantom threads. They drain energy. They create confusion. They scatter the mind. When you chant A from the chamber of resonance, something remarkable happens. These threads begin to collapse. You may feel a sudden clarity about something you've been avoiding, a release of guilt you didn't know you were holding, a drop in anxiety, an intuitive understanding of what no longer belongs in your future, a subtle but powerful certainty about a decision. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. When the inner field becomes coherent, the outer field simplifies itself around you. Your life rearranges. Your destiny tightens into focus. This is the gate turning. The third sign, the return of the watcher. This part is unsettling for many. In Egyptian mysticism, every soul carried a companion, a watcher, the aspect of consciousness that never forgets your purpose. The watcher is not a spirit guide, not an angel, not a ghost. It is you, but older, wiser, and far less willing to tolerate your avoidance. During the turning phase, the watcher stirs. You may feel as though someone is standing behind you, as though a presence is observing your thoughts, as though a clarity not your own is whispering internally, as though your excuses don't work anymore. This is normal. This is sacred. This is the part of you that remembers why you came into this life. Do not fear it. Do not ignore it. Welcome it. Because once the watcher awakens, the gate cannot be stopped. The technique, rotating the field from within. To assist in the gate turning, the priests taught a technique so simple, so subtle, that modern practitioners often underestimate it. They called it the inner rotation. Here is how you perform it.
sit or lie comfortably. Close your eyes. Visualize the center of your chest as a sphere of faint golden light. As you inhale, imagine this sphere expanding slightly. As you exhale, imagine it rotating clockwise, just 1 degree. Only 1 degree. If you rotate too quickly, the field becomes unstable. The gate must turn like the sun, slowly, steadily, with dignity. As you exhale, whisper softly, "Aa." The sound becomes the wind that turns the wheel. If done correctly, you may feel a pull behind the sternum, a subtle pressure in the spine, a wave of emotion rising, a softening of the jaw, a tingling around the forehead or crown. These are not side effects. These are confirmations. The field is turning. The gate is responding. A warning from the western annex of the temple. In the ruins of Edfu, archaeologists found a partially destroyed inscription that reads, "Many who turn the gate do not walk through it." Why? Because when the gate turns, it reveals what you must release. Not metaphorically, energetically. You cannot carry your old stories into your new timeline. You cannot carry your old fears into your awakened destiny. You cannot carry the frequency of your past into the future you are calling. Some people stop here because they sense what is coming. They feel the truth rising, and they run. Do not run. The things that fall away do not fall away to punish you. They fall away because they cannot survive the frequency you are becoming. You are not losing your life. You are shedding your shell. The fourth sign, the timeline sway. One of the most profound, disorienting experiences of this phase is the phenomenon called swaying of the timelines. You may experience it as déjà vu, a sensation of stepping into a memory you never lived, strange dreams that feel like alternate versions of you, the feeling that the world around you is somehow more light or more distant, unexpected emotional neutrality in situations that once triggered you, a sense that time.
This is the moment where destiny stops waiting and begins to answer. There is a secret very few people know, one that the Egyptian priests carried with the same caution as fire in a dry desert wind. The destiny gate does not open for the curious. It opens only for the transformed. You have stirred the chamber. You have awakened resonance. You have turned the gate from within. But now you stand at the final threshold, the point where your inner field must make a choice that no one can make for you. This is the choice to step into the life that has been calling you. Only one thing remains, the opening vowel, the second half of the chant, the part held back until the gate is ready. The ancients believed that speaking it prematurely fractured the inner field. This is why it was hidden, transmitted only after the gate turned. Close your eyes as you read. Let the words enter you the way the desert wind enters a temple chamber, quietly, but with purpose. You are ready. The opening vowel, the sound of stepping through. If AE is the vowel of awakening, if AE turns the gate, then OHR is the vowel of opening. Not or, not O, not our. It is OHR, a sound that must be pronounced not from the throat, but from the back of the mouth, just before the breath becomes voice. In ancient texts, OHR was called the vowel that widens reality. It does not vibrate the sternum. It vibrates the space around the body. Some initiates describe hearing a faint echo, not from the room, but from their own field. Others reported a sensation like stepping forward without moving their feet. This vowel is not a chant, it is a movement disguised as sound. You must speak it in a single breath. OHR. Let it roll, not like thunder, but like a slow, deep current. When pronounced correctly, you may feel lightness around the head, the sense that your body expands outward, a wave of heat from the belly to the throat, a tingling around the crown, a sudden moment of emotional clarity. These sensations are not random. They are the gate responding, the vibrational equivalent of stone door shifting after centuries of being sealed. What actually happens when you speak OHR? You may wonder, what does this vowel really do? Is it spiritual symbolism or is it something measurable? The truth is both simpler and more mysterious. OHR activates a field expansion. Your electromagnetic heart field, normally about 3 to 4 feet around the body, expands rapidly for a brief period. This expansion creates a moment of non-local alignment where the subconscious mind becomes more open to shift. In simpler language, the sound pushes your destiny outward. Your reality adjusts to accommodate it. This is why OHR was never meant for casual use. Once reality expands around you, it cannot contract without consequences. You may lose attachments that were never yours. You may see truths that unravel old identities. You may step into opportunities that require courage instead of habit. OHR is not a pretty sound. It is a threshold. The method of opening, the 3-breath rite. To perform the gate opening in the way taught by the priests, you must follow the sequence. 1 breath to awaken, 1 breath to turn, 1 breath to open. The rites combined into one ritual look like this. Breath 1. Slow inhale. Hold for 1. Exhale AE. Feel the chamber stir. Breath 2. Inhale into the chest. Hold. Then exhale while imagining the golden sphere turning 1 degree. Whisper AE again. Feel the gate shift. Breath 3. Inhale as if the breath is filling the space around your body, not inside it. Hold. Then on the exhale, OHR. Let the sound widen your field. Feel the expansion. Feel the opening. Feel the moment where you are no longer who you were 5 minutes ago. This is the gate opening. This is the step. This is the becoming. A vision from the inner priesthood. There is a lesser-known tale from the underground chambers of Abydos. A young initiate asked his master, "What will I see when the gate opens?" The master laughed softly, not mockingly, but with a kind of ancient compassion. "Nothing outside you, everything inside you." This is the truth. You may not see light, you may not hear voices, you may not enter a mystical trance. Instead, you may feel a shift so subtle, so inward, that it vibrates your very sense of identity. Some describe it as the moment before tears, but without sadness. A soft dissolving of a tension they didn't know they carried. A sense of stepping into a larger version of themselves. A sudden knowing. A sense of rightness that defies explanation. This is not imagination. This is alignment. The gate does not show you visions, it shows you yourself. The final warning, the gate opens only forward. The priests were unanimous on this point. Once the gate opens, do not look back. Looking back means returning to an old identity, choosing fear after clarity, pretending you didn't hear the truth, shrinking yourself to fit someone else's comfort, ignoring the inner voice that has awakened. The gate does not punish you for looking back, but it does close. Not forever, but often for years. You did not come this far to return to sleep. You came because something ancient in you insisted that it was time. Time for what? Time to become the version of yourself that your soul has been waiting for. The sign of completion when the gate has fully opened. How do you know the ritual is complete? Look for one of these signs. Your breath feels deeper and more effortless. You feel unusually calm, even if emotional. Your body feels lighter or subtly expanded. You feel watched in a benevolent way. You sense a decision forming inside you. You experience a moment of absolute clarity. These are not feelings, they are markers, energetic signatures of an opened field. If you experience even one of them, the gate is open. You have crossed. What happens after the gate opens? Something shifts in your reality in the days that follow, sometimes dramatically, sometimes quietly. A relationship clarifies itself. An opportunity emerges that aligns with your soul. A habit falls away effortlessly. A new desire rises with surprising strength. A sense of inner direction sharpens. These are the outer ripples of an inner transformation. You may feel yourself drawn towards new paths, new work, new people. You may also feel compelled to release old patterns that kept you bound to a timeline you no longer belong to. This is not randomness. This is destiny reorganizing itself around your new frequency. Welcome it, trust it, walk with it. You have opened the gate. The closing ritual, sealing the new path. To seal the shift, place your right hand on your chest. Close your eyes. Whisper, AEOHR. I step through. Feel the words resonate inside you. Not loudly, truth never needs volume. Then internally say, the journey has begun.